Hi everybody, Zach here for another episode of our flagship program, The Spideydude Experience. This episode is brought to you by our loyal patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. Pledge today and get both early access to content on the main channel, as well as entirely exclusive content, like brand new shows, commentaries for old Spidey stuff, including commentaries for the MTV series, for example, as well as the video editions for Voices from the Eyrie Gargoyles Podcast. And our Patreon first show focused on the Krakoan era of X-Men. We also want to encourage you to check out our other programs that are all available on Audio Edition. These are all over on Spideydude.com, and they're available on your favorite podcasting app. Shows like Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started this entire network, Spectacular Radio, Spectacular Sal Buscema era podcast, Amazing Spider-Man Classics, the Slot Symposium, and the sister program on this channel, Make Mine Mayday. As always, be sure to hit the like button. It really does help us big time in the algorithm. And additionally, if you have topics you'd like to cover on a live show or in a recorded medium, make sure to leave a comment down below the description or shoot us an email at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. Finally, make sure to join our community. Be alerted to all new updates by hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell. But to be clear, your viewership is more than enough for us. And if you want to hang out with us off YouTube, you can always go to our Discord, where we have all sorts of fun stuff, or you can join us on our social medias and follow us there. All the links are down in the description below. As always, we want to be making some references to visual aids and or live comments. If you're an audio listener, pay that no mind, but leave that 5-star review for us. Any and all feedback we will read on future episodes. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get rolling with this episode of the Spideydude Experience.
You know, I think it's great that we just let Zach's great old Moss like hog the screen for like a good 5 seconds. I thought that really added to the cinematic experience.
You know, it is an experience that we are trying to impart here on the Spideydude Experience. Hello, everybody. I'm Zach Joyner. That is Neil, the producer of the show. As we have technical difficulty here at the onset of the episode, as you can see. I am on the left. He is on the right. We have our stalwarts of the show. He is on almost every episode, it seems. He's a glutton for punishment. It's Adam.
Oh, they're talking about me. Oh, okay.
Ultimate Adam.
It seems.
Yeah. I said it seems. It's not true.
Yes, you did.
You are a willing participant.
Yeah.
No Javier tonight. He is out with his lovely missus. But speaking of a lovely missus, we have Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hi.
So she is back. So we got people already in the comments section. Producer. Oh, no. All right. So we are going to be talking about the Ultimate Spider-Man tonight, but we are going to talk some news before we get to that. And as Neil takes a nap, and I'm going to be doing all this stuff by myself.
To take a nappy for a sec.
There was a Marvel Legends live stream today, the last Marvel Legends live stream between now and the San Diego Comic-Con convention in July. So we got first thing they got was the Fantastic Four First Steps figures are going to be coming out, and based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. So for all the MCU fans out there, this is for you. So we get Johnny Storm depowered, but we also get him powered, which is nice because in the past they haven't always done that. So we also get Reed Richards with bendy arms, swappable hands as well. So not just the bendy arms. We get Ben Grimm the Thing, which probably may be the best figure of this entire wave, to be honest. The 6-figure wave includes also Silver Surfer herself. And
before the show started, we were yapping about how we don't like the Silver Surfer design. What's her name? Julie Gardner is playing Silver Surfer. She's playing like Shara Ball or something.
Yeah. And we have Sue Storm, which I said this before we went on air. This may be the best Sue Storm since the original Walgreens exclusive Sue Storm. So good work there. But yeah, just that was how they started the stream. But then the main event of the stream kind of occurred. And if you are a Marvel vs. Capcom fan, you're eating good right now. So we will start with Garganos, which is
it's Shumagorath, but
it's Shumagorath.
It's not. It's legally defined Shumagorath.
Yeah, so this thing has an articulated eye, articulated eyelids, articulated arms, bendy wire arms, so you can get crazy poses. This thing is crazy. This is also featuring we got Silver Samurai here. We've got Wolverine.
I'll throw my eye at you.
Yeah, it's literally throwing the eye. Like that's freaking just nuts. So as I continue to upload more to the stream, because apparently the some of these did not want to load because first world problems.
If you're trying to upload 20 trillion pictures at once, it's not going to work, Chief.
So yeah, I know.
This might actually be the best Captain America figure ever, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking this. This, in terms of scale, the only thing I think some people would want is the chainmail, maybe. But overall, the fact that we finally get a Captain America with the full shield, there's no gimmicks to it. This has been a desperate update for a long time. The gimmick that does come with it is this attachable piece that goes on top of it.
It's for I think his beep. I don't remember what the button combo is like. His push forward attack.
Yeah. So he is a 2-pack with Venom, and this is the blue version of Venom that has been often requested. This is going to be a mainline figure, so it's going to be across all lines, both fan channel, Walmart, Targets, your main retailers. It does come with this half Eddie, half Venom mask here. So,
but will we get the orange one?
That may be a variant that comes out more or less.
That's the PulseCon exclusive.
There is a San Diego Comic-Con bit that I'll have to mention here too, here in a minute.
Juggernaut looks really good.
This is a deluxe. This Juggernaut is so much bigger in terms of scale than the original Juggernaut. The original Juggernaut came in like a 2-pack. This thing is, I mean, looking at it with Captain America, it's a big boy, and this is going to be a single pack. That's fan
Is this
channel.
The same size as the 80th anniversary one, or is this bigger?
It's bigger. They actually pulled the 80th anniversary one out for scale comparison, and it was like a good head bigger.
Okay.
That one's probably about 7.5 inches. This is good 9-10 inches tall. So this is a big effing Juggernaut.
Good for Juggernaut.
It's
good
the
for big jugs.
The jugs.
Yeah, I like big. My bad. Sorry, not sorry. We also got another 2-pack, which was Logan and Silver Samurai. Now, this Logan is unique because it's a completely new articulation scheme. Some people are a little like, really? We get another super articulated Logan? But the crouching ability of this particular Logan is extremely, this looks straight up out of the game. The guys that do the photography for Marvel Legends, I think, had a field day, especially if you have ever played the game. So you got Silver Samurai, which is also slightly reused, but mostly all brand new sculpting. The thing about this is this is their big initiative that they're going to put out for the fall. So we also got Thanos as.
Oh, I thought he was flipping us off. Jesus.
Yeah.
No. He's just snapping his fingers. He's just snapping his fingers. Come on. I just want to load. He is packed with Psylocke, So we finally get a new
Psylocke.
So this has been an often requested figure. She is in the brand new ultra articulated scheme. She's going to have basically, this is the same articulation scheme we saw starting with the Black Widow, and we are finally getting her here. I was trying to pull up. I have a couple of other photos that are a little more close up. There we go. This was teased previously. They kind of teased the psychic daggers. So this is this is a really good looking figure. This one is going to be, unfortunately for some, a Target exclusive. So if you are not, I wouldn't I'll be honest, don't pre-order this with Target, because it seems like Target exclusive pre-orders tend to not show up. I tend to see them in stores far more often than I do the pre-orders. So I know some people are. Hickman says that Thanos is giving you the finger. So,
I deserve it.
There. So yeah, I wanted to do something, a little fun before we get to this next news topic, because a bit of sad news that came out over the weekend. I'm going to share my screen. Hang on. Peter David, writer of Spider-Man, various Spider-Man, Hulk, and DC works, passed away.
And Star Trek novels.
Yeah, I was going to say Star Trek novels. This is his official obituary, or a official obituary that was written in honor of him.
Woke me the fuck up.
This one was really kind of a hard, a sad situation. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, he has been very much in ill health. He had been suffering from a multitude of ailments and succumbed to those, had a cardiac arrest over the weekend and passed away. Peter David was a guest on the Spideydude Radio Network. He was on an episode of Clone Saga Chronicles. There is a bit of a connection between him and I, which was weirdly not mentioned during the whole tribute that Brad did last night, which I thought was kind of strange considering it was his show.
Well, I got to be honest. I think there's not much to say about it, just by virtue of the fact that Crawlspace actually did a really good job memorializing him.
Agree. No, I don't disagree. I just, considering the connection with Crawlspace in this story, this part of the story, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 23. And I know Brad, I think it was because Brad knew I was going to talk about it, obviously, on my show. When Brad and I interviewed him, it was literally the very first interview that we ever did on a podcast, was Peter David. And at the time, Peter David knew that there was going to be a big reset, knew that he had his time on the book was actually limited. Obviously, when we did the interview, he gave us no hint, because at the time, Marvel was really selling the fact that this is the new status quo, that nothing's changing, and that Peter Parker being unmasked is not going to be undone. And so the problem was that Peter David really didn't have a story in mind to end his run. So I had asked simply, will there be a confrontation between Jonah and Peter? This was kind of a throwaway line that was set up in Amazing Spider-Man. So at the time, Peter David thought, well, that's probably going to be handled in ASM. So he goes to the editor, then Stephen Wacker, and says, hey, is there going to be anything done with Jonah and Peter before this big, massive reset? And editor goes, no, really, there's not going to be enough time to do anything with it. Why? And he's like, well, can I write a story with it? Now, Peter David had written a issue of Web of Spider-Man back in the 80s that had a confrontation between Spider-Man and Jonah, that where Spider-Man kind of was losing his, for lack of a better word, losing his shit on Jonah because he was just tired of Jonah's crap. And so there's this big confrontation where Peter gets in his face as Spider-Man. Well, this issue very much is the exact opposite, where Jonah gets in the face of Peter. Peter finally goads him into meeting him in a boxing ring and essentially lets him beat the crap out of him.
Is this the one with what's the one they were making a movie about?
Which one?
The one with the one that Bad Bunny was supposed to be in. El
Muerto. Yes, that was supposed to be, but that was earlier in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the issue. This is the last issue where it's Jonah and Peter, and they have a conversation and a confrontation between each other. So I never expected any type of acknowledgement or anything like that, but he had actually would talk about this at Comic Cons when they would ask him if he had any interesting stories to tell, and this would be one of the things he would talk about, which I always appreciated. He also, when I had him on the show and when he was back on Crawl Space both times, he mentioned it, thanked me for it because he said, quote, "I really didn't know how I was going to end my run, so you kind of saved my bacon." And he was just a extremely humble guy. There's no other way of. He could be a little prickly at times. I think Michael Bailey said that last night, and that I've seen some of that. But for the most part, everybody kind of universally liked the guy because he was just devastatingly quick-witted and funny. And
I think the fact that he had so much range in his writing kind of is a testament to that.
Yeah, he could write really emotional stories.
Like if you look at the contrast between like When Cometh the Commuter and his Hulk run.
Yeah, his Hulk
incredibly very very wide range of writing brilliance. It's kind of hard to understate like how much of the modern comic space we owe to David. And I feel like it feels wrong to use someone as like a soapbox, but it does speak to how much we need to treat our creators with respect, especially on the financial end of royalties, because this man literally just had a ton of his characters come out and be used for a major movie, and he didn't see a dime of that. And I think that without getting too deep into the weeds on it speaks to the kind of a very wretched industry that we play into. And I know there's some people at Marvel who worked to keep him on payroll so he could have health insurance as long as he could. But it does speak to the perceived disposability of comic writers. And I feel awful that Peter David was the
lack of a beneficiary of
that he was the person who had to suffer for it.
Yeah, the biggest tragedy of it was, you're right, and I think that Marvel shared a tribute on their official social media, and it was literally just everybody shitting on Marvel.
Yeah, it's the hot dog car guy. We're trying to find the person who did this.
Yeah, and you know what? That's very, that part I can understand. Okay, air your grievances to the official Marvel Twitter account, whatever. I was a little annoyed when Nick Lowe tries to offer a tribute, and the first thing everybody does is start to like dog on Nick Lowe.
It was just one guy.
Well, there was a couple.
I looked through the logs. It was just one guy replying 3 times, which was weird, but that's not really the point.
Well, my point was literally the first reaction to that was for somebody to start using him as a scapegoat, and it's like, hang on, Nick Lowe has nothing to do with that. You want to talk to corporate, that's a different story. But like, this is a dude trying to give a tribute to a colleague, and you're basically calling him a wretched human being because somehow he was the reason he didn't get health insurance and get denied Medicaid. Like, the denial of Medicaid also was just mind-boggling to me, and that has nothing to do with Marvel. That has everything to do with the state of New York. But
I guess to kind of, like I said, Crawl Space kind of said everything that really can be said. So
Right.
we just we extend our wishes to Mr. David's family. I find memorializing people very difficult, just because it's kind of a hard thing for me as a person to process. But I do wish them the best, and I.
At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say too is, Neil, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but what I was trying to get to is that if you can, go find Peter David books, whether they be prose or comics. Hopefully the royalty system will start kicking in and doing that. If you can, I will leave the link in the description down below. Support the GoFundMe. It is about 91% to being funded. It should be 100%. It should be Marvel and DC chipping in to help put that over the top. But we do offer his daughters and his wife our utmost, sincerest condolences through this just really awful time in their lives. And but I couldn't not at least acknowledge and the man and his work. And go pick up things like 2099 because it's all really good stuff. And Hulk. So all right. Is there any other news that we want to? Oh,
I'm trying to think if there's any news. Did we talk about the Black Cat ongoing last episode?
You know what? We did not, especially because we didn't get the reaction of our noted Black Cat person. So let's go ahead and I should have that on the front page of Spideydude too.
Okay, so new book, go buy it. G. Will Wilson, aka the only good Miss Marvel writer, and Big Gleb Melnikov, Big Gleb. They're doing a Black Cat book. It's explicitly spinning out of ASM, out of the Hellgate story, I guess. And she's gonna go try and be like an actual hero. I think that's the premise.
Yeah,
that she's like trying to be a good guy for realsies this time, unlike the other times where she pretended to be a good guy and then just said psych and dipped.
So from the press
cover.
release, yep, that is an Adam Hughes cover.
Awooga.
So yep. Well, these other ones are just as Awooga.
I think the Simone DeMio cover is very restrained. That one's okay.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one.
Which one's the one on the right? No, that's not DeMio. That's on the left. The left is DeMio.
Oh, that would be Peach Momiko.
That one's pretty good too. That one's pretty restrained and subdued. That one in the middle is just like pure. That one in the middle is just pure like goon bait.
Cheesecake. So
you can tell the difference in eras between what term we use for internet weirdos.
So basically, Gleb was like itching to draw Felicia after his first Spider-Man issue, and so they offered him the ongoing. So this is going to come out in August. So, Ashley, do you want to pick this one up, or are you excited about this?
Oh, of course. Like you already know, there's. Of course, I'm going to pick it up.
G. Willow, I really, really enjoyed her work on.
You know what I hate? I feel really bad for her because every time she does a good thing, Marvel just fucks it up. I don't know if you read. I don't know if you read Giant. Making Kamala a mutant was like the first problem, and it's gone progressively downhill since then.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was other problems after her run. It was Ahmed's run broke things, and then after became a mutant, everything's gone downhill, and now she's hiding from. Now she's hiding and stopped being a hero because being a mutant is hard, and now she's she's time traveling now with the original X-Men. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that one.
So this is apparently going to spin directly out of the Joe Kelly run on Amazing Spider-Man. So we'll see. If there's going to be some other things to read, I'll definitely let you know there, Ash. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is
Big Gleb.
I think
Not friend of the show, but I want him to be friend of the show.
we want to have him on to talk with an interview. He's on
the 2 issues of ASM he did.
Yeah. So we do have a voicemail.
Oh shit! I was supposed to fix the overlay.
You was supposed to fix the overlay. But,
oh well, I'll do it later.
So Walter did leave a voicemail. So as I am, but we will. It's basically talking about Peter David. So let me quickly play that, and then we will move on.
Hey, it's me, Walter. No hijinks this time, because I want to talk about Peter David, who wrote one of my favorite storylines, Death of Jean DeWolf. I was very saddened to hear of his passing. He was a man that gave you more entertainment value for 75 cents than you should have gotten. He put love and heart into every word he put on the page, and you could have felt that. You felt that. I am very sad of his passing. I'm very sad about how he was treated. And I hope 50 or 100 years from now, people will still appreciate the legacy of the work he left behind. Rest in peace, Peter David. You gave so much to me and to this industry that you'll never be forgotten. You all have a good show. I'm assured I will be calling in later with some hijinks, but right now, my thoughts are with Peter David's family.
See, Walter, you can leave a serious voicemail. No, I 100% agree with you there, Walter, and I appreciate your thoughts on that. Death of Jean DeWolf, one of the greatest Spider-Man stories of all time. It literally changed the tone and tenor of Spider-Man forever. I don't think without that story, I don't know if you get a story like Kraven's Last Hunt and the more modern adult stories that Spider-Man fans are well known for, and especially in the 80s. When they changed to where each title had its own distinct voice, with Peter David kind of being the more crime-driven book, Webb was kind of the more kind of fantastical stuff, and then Amazing being Amazing, where it's everything driving through. So Peter David, rest in peace. So more hijinks to come. If you want to leave us a voicemail number is 818-925-6631. We'll play any and all voicemails at the end of the show. Okay, let's get to the meat of the episode. Mr. Neal, you have been asked very nicely by Ashley to give us recaps of issue 17 of Ultimate Spider-Man. So, without further ado,
please, Neil.
Here we go. Issue 17. Neil, you are muted.
Ah, shit! I had a good one lined up for you. I was gonna say you had some Cronkite vibes going on. You were going to tell me the president got shot or something. That's the vibe you had.
You know, I wasn't.
Good evening. We're here, and we'll be. Why don't we go into old timey news report? You know, I'm gonna leave it. Good evening, folks. This is Walter Cronkite for the 5 a.m. news.
He never had a mid-Atlantean accent.
Yeah, I'm leaning into it now.
Okay.
Previously on Ultimate Spider-Man, Kraven shot Harry in the head, but it was a joke because it was Gwen the whole time. She was Mysterio. It was just a little prank, guys.
Oh no! Okay.
I can't. In the same way, I can't do my Optimus Prime voice, where I can't do the 1920s paperboy voice forever, so I'll just go back to the normal one. So last time, the Parkers went on an what? Cool. Okay. Okay. Anyways, it's May. Uncle Ben goes to his, I guess to the paper. I don't know, either the paper or his apartment. There's a photo of May in there, but she's missing her nose. But guess who is there instead of either May or his gay lover Jonah? It's Harry Osborn, back from the dead. And Harry's like, "Hey, you know where Peter is, right?" And Ben's like, I don't know. I talk to him every once in a while if I need to. And Harry says, I wanted to check in because things are about to get serious. Uncle Ben's like, you say that like they haven't already been that way. And Harry's go like, compared to what's coming, they haven't. I gotta sneeze. Anyways.
You. Early.
I'm gonna scratch my nose. Give it a quick scratch. Anyways, at Oscorp, don't put your fingers up my nose, Zach. That's weird. Anyways, at Oscorp, Gwen is talking to Robbie and girl bossing her way through the conversation. And Gwen says, "Why should I trust you in this info, Mr. Robertson?" And Robbie just looks at the camera and says, "Well, Gwen, as you know, we are all Mysterios." That's right. Joe Robertson is, in fact, a Mysterio. And as Robbie's about to ask Gwen what to do with the reports he's giving her, her secretary says, "Miss Stacy, your 4 p.m. has arrived." I guess she sounds like Howard's mother from The Big Bang Theory. Anyways, Miss Robbie Stacy, leaves.
Your 4 p.m.'s arrived. I feel really bad for my neighbors on that one.
Anyways, Kingpin comes in with his homeboy Wesley. Wesley and Robbie look at each other with weird thoughts. And Kingpin's like, "Yeah, your husband didn't do shit. I know you were behind everything all along. So I'm assuming you were all in on the events that we had going on. I'm letting you know that I'm going to keep this up for all time. Bye, bitch. Wesley's going to stick around and help you figure out the finer details." Wesley is also revealed to be a Mysterio, very anticlimactically. And Wesley basically said, "I'm going to pull up the issue. I'm going to pull a quote right here. There's quite a bit of dancing that someone in my position has to do. For example, I helped you find your husband so you could save him, and in return, all I got was a growing number of questions from Mr. Fisk regarding the disappearance of Kraven. Quite a few tricky steps in that one, and the tune was not one I prefer. It almost makes me want to stop the music altogether. But because of their commitment to the cause, they stick together." And I don't know what the hell this thing. I guess it's an amulet. I forget this was like an actual thing.
It gets mentioned in 16. It's a. Okay. They do. I looked at it. And it was like when
it's like a magic charm or something.
They don't explain it. It's something that gets passed down. Gwen says like or someone. Someone says there's 2 days before it gets passed from you to me, and it's basically Gwen is supposed to be the one who is in charge of it now.
So it's like the blunt rotation. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyways, as Gwen's staring at her All Rush mixtape, she tells Harry he can come out of the hiding place, and Harry just, I guess, was behind, was it like a glass door or something? I don't know. Wesley didn't see him because he's a dumbass, I guess. And Harry's like, "Jesus Christ, Gwen, it's kind of scary watching you operate." And Gwen says, "Well, we have the amulet for a week. Let's play, baby." Later, it even says so in the caption box. Later, Harry leaves the subway, goes into York Groceries, and presses a button to reveal a secret lair. Otto has a new lab set up underneath the city, and Harry's like, "I know, we're still the size of the last one, but beggars can't be choosers." And I guess Gwen has inherited everything he owns legally because, you know, Harry's legally dead. So Otto's like, "What would your father say, bucko?" And Harry's like, "Well, let's ask him." And he looks at the goblin armor staring at him like the goblin mask from the Raimi movies. Harry and Otto go over a laundry list of what Otto needs. Otto giving like a very Dr. Octopus look as he goes to check out the Parker residence. Harry puts on the mask, and his dad decides to pester the shit out of him. He's like the most annoying dad ever. / abusive. I don't know. Kind of like when I'm trying to think of a good comparison. It's like when your dad's too drunk and he takes it out on you with words.
Yeah. Yes.
So
not that I had that, but yes.
Well, I didn't say that, but okay. Anyways, Norman basically gets on Harry's grill about not knowing that his wife was Mysterio or a Mysterio. And he's like, "Oh, you're a little bitch, Harry. Go do some terrorism." And so he goes to his wife and says, "Hey, babe, let's blow up a building." And so Harry has rocket launchers in his armor now, and they blow up a building. They fly in. They see a sweatshop. Yeah, that's a sweatshop, right?
Yes.
Looks like an Anheuser-Busch factory. Anyways,
what?
Looks like beer. You zoom in, it looks kind of like bottles.
They don't. That's all automated, Neil.
No, it's not. Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about the Anheuser-Busch factories. I'm talking about this.
No, now you're gonna have me look. What page are you on?
I'm on the page after the rocket launchers go through the building.
The page after the boom.
Page after the big boom.
With all of them?
Tell me they don't look like bottles.
Everyone turn your textbooks to page 20 something.
Holy shit, Zach broke.
Is he okay? He was looking.
Oh wait, they're making bombs. Okay.
Are they making bombs?
Yeah, it's on the next page.
Those shitty water bottles that all the girly pops.
Oh, Stanley Cups. They're in the Stanley Cup factory.
Maybe.
So, anyways, at the Stanley Cup bomb factory, a bunch of guys with masked and katanas come in and go, it's the Goblin, he's back. Get that son of a bitch. And Gwen tells Harry to get the civilians out, and she goes, "Hey guys, time for the blunt rotation. Who wants some fucking huge drugs?" And she juices them up, makes them think that they're tripping the fuck out. And hallucinating like Harry is like a goblin creature with like the eye from Alien logo. I don't know. I don't know I don't want to get us demonetized. You don't want to know what I think that is. Anyways, he and Gwen get to work. Harry's flying people out, and he's like, "Dad, stop being mean to me." "No, Dad, stop bullying me. I'm sorry." And anyways, Harry and Gwen get on a rooftop, and Harry's like, "Hey, did you take care of the demons and defuse the bombs?" And Gwen's like, "Oh shit, I forgot to defuse the bombs," and the bombs go off. And I guess she killed all the demons.
I think no, she's like,
she's like, "What do you mean by defuse the bombs?"
Yeah, she's like, "We're not doing that."
Yeah, and Gwen's like, "Well, I said I'd take care of them. I just took care of it with that giant explosion."
That's exactly what she did. We're not doing that.
She basically gives Harry the same speech that Harry gave Peter in issue 9, where it's like, "I'll do what needs to be done to save the world." And Harry's like, "Okay, baby." Anyways, back in Utah.
He's like, "Yes, honey."
Babe, it's 4 p.m. It's time for your goblin flattening. Anyways, back in what's that show with the Mormons?
Sister Wives?
No, not that one. The one with like the polygamist.
What? The Secret
Big Love.
Big Lies. Big Life.
Big Love.
Big Love. Yeah.
It was on HBO, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, back on the set of Big Love.
Yeah.
There's one on Disney Plus now.
There's yeah, it's because it's on Hulu. It's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, because that rhymes.
There was Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield.
The fact that you guys know all of these and I don't know.
It's on the front page of Disney Plus. I don't have a choice to see it. My ad block doesn't stop it. Anyways, back on the set of Big Love, Peter gets a call from Uncle Ben, and his Fed guy goes, "Hey, you got 90 seconds, bucko." And if there's anything this book has been missing, it's homoerotic tension. And Peter gets a call from his best friend Harry, who says in the most like emotionally constipated homoerotic way, "Come home, Peter. I need you."
A lot of gay subtext
there. Next issue, Peter cheats on his wife with Harry.
Damn.
God almighty. All right.
Okay, you gotta admit, look, you see that look Harry's give. Look, you see that look Harry's giving the phone. He knows what's up. Oh, Jonah's there too.
I know. I'm so happy.
Why does Peter have like lightning bolts behind him on that second to last panel?
Well,
his neurons are firing. Like his two brain cells are firing right now.
He's so high.
Yo, he somehow got the blunt rotation.
Because his mind is being blown that Harry is still alive.
Yeah, he ate some of those hash brownings, and now he's like,
"Babe, wake up! It's 4 p.m. It's time for your goblin flattening."
All right. So, thank you for the recap, Neil. Ashley, did that tickle your fancy?
Everybody watching this, you're welcome. You're welcome. That was spot notch, top tier.
You couldn't get this on the crawl space.
Well, that's because they're not as cool as us. So,
they're all right. Anyways,
I said
now Neil
they're okay. All right. So meanwhile, while Neil takes a nap, Adam, give me your thoughts on this particular issue.
It's a good issue of Ultimate Green Goblin. UGG. Ugh. I stole the Ultimate Green Goblin joke, but not the UGG. Yeah, I mean it's good. I don't like that it feels like, the Parker family, I've mentioned this in our private chat, it feels like they're being left on the table. I don't really like that. That's probably my big con. Also, I feel like the Mysterio thing is interesting. We were talking about this before the show, but I feel like it just gets like dropped in there, and it's not there's not a lot of weight. Maybe there's more weight with Wesley, but with Robbie, it's like, it's kind of it's shocking, but it just gets like, it's so casual that it's like, okay, sure. It just both of them seem very convenient, and I don't know, like, because now it's like, well, who's the fifth member? And I hope it's not someone else we know, because it just seems convenient, and like maybe for the plot, it makes it all seem a lot smaller than it is, which I guess that can be good or bad, but I don't know. It just seems there doesn't seem like to be that much weight to it. I don't. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's weird. But other than that, I mean, it's a fine issue. The art is fairly solid. I'm looking forward to Peter and Richard getting in the fold next issue, and seeing where the gang war is going to go. And I do think it is interesting that Harry has now become the Peter in the Peter was, against Harry's ideals in their crime-fighting relationship, and now in Harry and Gwen's crime-fighting relationship, he has become the Peter to Gwen's Harry, and I think that is interesting, and that it's a subversion of some things that we've been talking about where this stuff could go. So I think that's interesting, and now I'm interested in seeing where that is going to go, if something is going to make Harry turn after all, or the Norman AI will go rogue, which that has a very high
what
chance.
What if we get a Spec 200 bit where Harry sacrifices himself to stop the Norman AI?
That might be Kino.
That might in fact be cinema.
But yeah, it's a good issue. I'm ready for more Peter stuff.
I'm ready for Peter to do something.
Yeah,
he's been fucking chilling out in the Big Love set.
And the thing is, it does, like I said, it feels like the Parker family is just left on the table. Like we don't really know anything about the past 3 months that they've been on the run. It's like, what, how is everyone coping with this stuff? And it makes me wonder, like, it would actually be fast. Like we were talking about how like Neil was saying that, Richard was going to die. And that was way before him getting the suit. And now like he has the suit and he has more of a purpose in the book. And I almost feel like it would be interesting. This probably won't happen, but it would be kind of interesting if he died in battle with the suit. And then it's like, cause that would have huge repercussions because
how does MJ deal with her fucking little boy going off to fight the gang war and getting clipped by a 22?
Exactly. But I mean, I don't really want that to happen, but there would be like, that would be just fascinating to see.
I have a
because we just haven't gotten anything about like what the family feels about all this stuff in general, it seems. So anyway,
I have a sneaking suspicion that next issue is going to be a kind of a catch-up issue where we're going to kind of get a lot of flashbacks.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, that might be like the first 3 pages or so. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, where we kind of are catching up with the Parkers, and because I think it's desperately needed. Because it is probably my one criticism of the book. So.
It is it's still well written, but I do feel like things are kind of convenient and we're kind of just leaving stuff to wonder about, which that's fine, but I also want to know, I want like concrete proof.
I was joking that Hickman really prefers writing Harry and Gwen, and Javi was like, yeah, he's kind of right about that.
What do you think? You got a little bit, you got your taste of Yowie with Jonah and Ben in this issue.
It was just a little something. I needed it. It's like just enough to keep the addict happy.
Move over because there's a new ship in town.
There's a new Maverick. There's a new Maverick and Iceman waiting for you.
And they were with us all along.
I love that
they didn't know what they had until it was gone and brought back to them.
And they paid Paradise and put up they paid Paradise and put up a parking lot.
I hate all of you, but also I love the whole group of you because you guys are now shipping all the gay ships are making me so happy right now.
We do it for you, Ashley. That's all we do.
I'm a little surprised no one got the Counting Crows reference.
I got Counting Crows. Yeah, he made.
Yeah, I got it. Also,
Ashley, did you not get this? Did you not get the Counting Crows reference?
No, I did. But Walter's over here, and I've been trying to read like what is also being said.
The cats are crying. Oh my god!
Hey, listen, that was me doing an impression of somebody singing, not me actually singing. Asshole. GTFO. Do you want me to sing live on air?
No, later.
Oh.
Sing it later.
I don't want Walter getting up on his high horse about us yapping.
No. Guess what?
It's Walter.
Guess what? Now Walter's going to leave freaking a voicemail of him singing, which nobody wants. Nobody wants that, Walter.
He left us a very lovely message earlier, and
he's gonna ruin it.
Towards the end of the show, if he leaves one, I'm terrified.
He's already left 2. There's already 2 that are in the queue.
Is that including the Peter David one, or is that like a third one?
There's yeah, he did 3 voicemails.
Oh shit! He said we asked for. He said you asked for it, so that makes another one.
I ain't playing it.
If Zach sings all the neighborhoods and his dog will start barking. Glass breaks. A car alarm starts.
My neighbor's dog across the street will start going, and that dog doesn't shut up, so please don't do it.
First of all, I was a vocal music major in college, had to audition and actually get accepted to do that. So I can sing.
I thought you didn't go to college.
I did when I was 18.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. So just right. I have to defend my honor for a minute. Damn.
Okay, let's get down to business now about this issue. So we can pass around the horn or whatever we're doing, the blunt. I don't know. What are we passing tonight? Puff, pass type of situation.
All right, Nick. Or Ashley, you go. I don't care.
I was going.
Zach's given up. He's just like, I'm
Mysterio amulet rotation.
I'm done with this shit.
Dang, Harry, calm down, okay? Like,
he looks like he just like tasted mercury in his water. What the fuck?
No fluoride. Anyways, I like this issue. Again, it just shows that Peter and Spider-Man is not the most interesting thing about this entire series. I agree with Adam. I would like to see what they've been doing, what the family's been doing out in BFE, for the past however long. Ben and Jonah making their cute little cameo makes me happy. Peter with his realization that Harry's alive and that love connection, that spark coming back alive was super adorable.
You can be my wingman anytime. Young man.
So cute. You could even see it in his face. He was like, yep.
Oh, whoa.
Swing. That was the face that he had. Let's see. Art was good. Gwen's definitely the one wearing the pants in the relationship. Love that for her. Girl boss.
Gaslight. Yo, Mysterio, Gaslight, Gatekeep, girl boss. We can finally do it.
Yes. Let's see. What else? I don't think I'm missing anything.
I thought Messina's art was okay. It's obvious that he's like the better artist for like the sitting and talking issues.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have had Laraz as the alternate instead of Messina. Especially because Laraz has done work with Hickman before. But it was okay. There's some things I thought were kind of interesting, like the Mysterio like fade out, like so you could see like Gwen's face and stuff under it. Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
I thought the fade in there was one page that I actually thought was really cool. It's the page when Harry puts on the Raimi mask and Norman's AI kind of slowly transitioned into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Hey baby, let's go bomb a building.
Yeah, let's do it. And that's pretty much it. So
who do we think is the last Mysterio, by the way? Because there's 5 of them.
I don't know, actually.
I mean, it probably has to be some character that we know, honestly, because
it's probably
there would be like no wait. Well, it's either a character hidden in the cast somewhere, or it's like another character that hasn't been introduced.
Walter says it's Ben.
I would love it.
I was
dude, you know what okay, wait, big plot twist here. It's Aunt May.
Yo! Whoa, you're onto something. Hang on. That would be peak.
That would be
cinema. Holy shit.
I don't know how I would feel about it, but that would be like holy shit.
Hang on, we're cooking here. Turn on the air fryer. That sounded so
Zach
stupid.
is just done. He's like,
that sounded so stupid. Turn on the air fryer.
Yeah, it did.
I like it. I'm gonna start saying that.
Jarvis, activate the air fryer.
Yeah, Jarvis, activate the air fryer.
What? Why does he sound like Steve Buscemi?
I don't know. As soon as it came out of my damn mouth, I was like, wait, that's not going to work. Anyway.
Are you it again?
How
do you do, fellow kids?
Hey, how you do, fellow kids?
I'm done.
Jarvis,
so
get ready to clip this shit.
Okay. So my thought,
wait, that's Pacific Rim. Never mind.
My thoughts on this issue are, I am intrigued. I am discombobulated. I don't even know anymore. I'm just here.
Zach doesn't even go.
Just one big shit post. Why are you in our school?
Even go to school here. It's ironic because I work at a school. So yeah. Anyway, so my thoughts on the issue. I think Messina's artwork was good. It's just not as good as it's always a downgrade whenever Checchetto is not on the book. But this is the most I've given a shit about Gwen Stacy ever. And that includes Spider-Gwen. This version of Gwen is like the most fascinating and interesting version of Gwen. And it just goes to show that that would be my report dinging at me to tell me that the Stars just lost and they're not going to the Stanley Cup. And so, but that being said, I can say that this is still an incredibly engaging issue. It even though there's a fundamental lack of Peter Parker and the Parker family, the supporting cast has been built up so well over these last 17 issues that I'm really intrigued. I'm going to be very interested to see that if there's a bit of a conflict between Peter and Harry. Not Peter and Harry, Ben and Harry, or Ben and Peter. I'm going to get it right. Because
Peter?
like, no. I'm talking Ben and Peter because like Peter's going to look at Ben and be like, how long have you known and why didn't you tell me? Type situation.
Right. He already knows he knew.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a confrontation between Ben and Peter about this. So
they kind of already did, didn't they?
Not
Issue
yet.
11?
No, I'm talking about
where Ben tells Peter to shut his trap and not tell people about his identity.
No, he's talking about Harry being alive. How long did Ben know about Harry being alive?
I missed that part.
Really isn't that? It hasn't been that long, right?
It's been 2 months.
It's been 2 months. How many?
3.
Yeah, 3 months. So,
oh well.
And the whole premise of like Peter going off the reservation and going basically underground was based on something that he could have, told Peter in code, and Peter would have probably came back to New York sooner. So that I know that's going to be a source of conflict.
Well, they were setting up like stuff outside and things too, in case anybody did show up to like Peter's house or, so it could have been all of that. They're waiting to get all the preparation so that when they did come home,
Well, also to Peter, his main responsibility is his family. Like ostensibly, he knows like the whole great power, great responsibility thing. But I think he kind of prioritizes the safety of his family more than any plan Harry has.
Well, and even when May, before May croaks the first time or the 5th time in the Clone Saga, which was actually not May at all, it was a genetically altered actress. She talks about family being the greatest responsibility, raising a family, and so I get what Gary's saying here. In our comment section, he says that I just wish there was more Spider-Man.
Me too.
Spider-Man.
The weird part is I think Peter's the least interesting character, or his family is.
Yeah, and I feel like we're due like another like emotional deep dive with the Parker family. The fact that we don't get much Spider-Man I understand. I would like, but I kind of feel like the payoff to that is going to be as we get to issue 24 later on.
It'll be the next 2 issues should be Spidey stuff.
Yeah, and that's desperately needed. I think this also suffers from the fact that it only comes out once a month, and we are so used to with ASM it being twice a month, and you can have these kind of one-off issues, but when it's even if this was coming out 18 issues a year, I think that would be kind of one of those situations where it's like, okay, yeah, you can kind of get away with these type of things, but man, it is a slow burn, but it's a really well done slow burn, and so I'm okay with it. But we are going to have to. There's going to be a certain point where we're going to have to start getting more Spider-Man in a Spider-Man book. That is absolutely
because right now it's like we're 17. I think it's basically 8 out of 17 issues have Spider-Man in them. So,
I mean, he makes an appearance in all of them, I'm sure, even if it's just cover art, and that's fine.
But that's the cover, though. The cover doesn't count. Yeah, because covers do lie.
I know.
Covers have lied for ages.
Like lies and deceit.
Yeah.
Covers have been lying since basically the turn of the century. I mean, when the poster covers became a thing, which basically was a phenomenon where you could not tell anything about the cover, and they were just like something that they could slap and make into a poster later on. So, I
like that. It's a good book. It's not a very good Spider-Man book. That's a.
What was that?
That's
Adam, book real
a classic
good.
riff.
Book real good.
Oh yeah, book real good.
Book real good. I like that.
I just wanted to point out that we only have like, what issue are we on? 17. We have 7 issues. Yes. We have 7 issues left until the Maker comes out of his mushroom box and like unleashes havoc. It doesn't feel like there's any momentum on this book's end. It feels like all the momentum's been over at Ultimates.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I guess the idea is that Hickman gave Denise Camp the reins to the rest of the universe, and he's just content to do Spider-Man stuff.
Well, the trickle down effect, I think, is going to start. The tentacling effect, the shattering of the glasses, the cracks are going to start, I think, appearing.
By the way, I'm kind of disappointed we haven't seen any Ultimate stuff in Ultimate Spider-Man. Like, I know Iron Lad showed up for a bit, but I'm kind of shocked because I was under the assumption that they were like, if you read Ultimates, they're kind of a more loosely organized coalition rather than like an actual team. And in the newest issue, they just had like all of the characters on a FaceTime call. I'm a little upset that Spider-Man wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that.
And I know that he's not really a member of the team, but Iron Lad did say he would be in touch, and it's been 9 months, and he hasn't been in touch.
Well, they've all been busy, right?
I mean, to be fair, Iron Lad has been kind of like half dead for 6 months. So
yeah. Peter's on the run, so the whole Savage Land thing with Peter on the run, like, kind of.
Hey guys, hey guys, it's me, Tony, calling from my iron lung. Peter, you have to abandon the secret lives of Mormon wives and come back to New York. You got to help me do terrorism, Peter. You got to be put on a no-fly list.
What kind of terrorist?
You got to commit a felony, Peter. You got to commit a felony for the Ultimates.
For the cause. Hey, Peter. What kind of terrorist are you going to be, Peter? I'm going to be
guy.
A terrifying terrorist. That's what I'm going to be. Terrifying terrorist.
Hey, Peter. You got to do a felony.
Hey, Peter. No.
Your Patrick Warburton sucks. I'm just going to say it.
Damn.
Peter. Hey, look. Over there.
What?
said Peter. You're trying to do a Family Guy reference, and I'm trying to do Peter Griffin, and it's not working for me right now. All right.
You tried really hard.
Peter, you need to put your Uncle Ben in the home. I'm sorry, man. You gotta put Uncle Ben in the home.
Never.
He's making us look bad, Peter. Even his gay lover, Jonah. you gotta take care of this, Peter. Yo, what if Cap was voiced by Patrick Warburton? That'd be Kino.
Probably.
You think this A stands for France?
Oh my god. What
do you think of the 21st century? How do you do? You have a good Bush impression. Can you do a good W? Can you do the line W says about the 21st century?
Hey, Cap America. What do you think about the 21st century?
Super, Mr. President! Super!
I'm done. I'm so done.
Cool, Mr. President! Wait, hang on. I need to find the George Bush Ultimates.
Hi, Cap America. Let me ask you a question. What do you think about, everything going on? Listen, I mean, I had a good time with that Monica chick, but if you need some help or some pointers on how to pick up women, I can certainly do that and help you out there. Sorry. Because that would be the conversation.
Now watch this drive.
He had the hand motion going too.
I mean, you got to.
Yo, you'll be like Kino. Cap throws a shoe at I don't know, Hulk.
Hi, listen here, Walter. I don't need your sass right now. I mean, you are a great guy, but you and I, we can't be copacetic right now. Okay.
Yo, this is good. Balazu says he's going to be the same terrorist he was when he bombed the tunnel in the Wells Run. Hell yeah. I'd read that.
Please don't demonetize us, YouTube.
We are merely making jokes. Let's just make jokes. Okay. All right.
You know what they say? You know what they say about them Ultimates? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Fool.
Now watch this drive. Now watch this drive.
I do believe man and Ultimate can coexist.
man.
I do believe man and mutant can coexist in Japan.
Let me tell you, man and mutant, they can coexist.
I call upon the nations of the world to deal with these vibranium menaces in Africa. Thank you. And I watch this drive. Yo, what if George Bush is the Mysterio?
God, I hope so.
Yo, they go to the meeting and he's got the mission accomplished banner in the background. All the Mysterios are like, what's that for?
This shit got really unhinged.
I love this. This series just brings the best out of all of us.
And or the worst.
Probably that.
All right. Oh my god.
The thing about Ultimate Spider-Man is it definitely focuses more on family than the other Spider-Man book known as what again? I don't know what you're asking with this, Matt, so I'll give you a chance to elaborate on what you mean.
No, what he's trying to say is that it focuses more on family because there happens to be a family of Spider-Man, because it's not the same as Amazing Spider-Man, because Matt Bird is a guy that wants he wants the marriage to be back.
It's called Amazing. Don't call it the Spider-Man book known as what? Just call it Amazing Spider-Man, dude. You're not gonna get us demonetized for saying Amazing Spider-Man.
At the end of the day, here's my thing, Matt. Marvel's not going to make that call. They had every opportunity during the Spencer run, and they decided to go in a different direction because that's not what they want. The problem that I have with this book right now is that as compelling as this has been, there hasn't been anything with the Parkers for the last 3 issues.
It's more compelling when Harry and Gwen have the spotlight.
Right. At the same time,
the family's just set dressing.
the family is not the focus of this book. There's other books that the family is the focus. Books like Spider-Girl.
Well, you could argue family in general is the focus of this book because there's
Gwen,
Harry, and the Norman AI, and there's Ben and Jonah, and there's Peter and his family. So there's kind of there is an element like how are these families like working through all this stuff?
Yeah, and you know, the thing about Harry and Gwen right now is the level of like Harry, I think, is asking himself, do I really know my wife? Because he's now seeing the full, like the mask, the metaphorical mask is now off with the Mysterio stuff. And he's like the reaction.
He's seeing how the sausage is made.
Mm-hmm.
He's now not only seen how the sausage is made, but he's also like, I think there's an episode of How I Met Your Mother where they talk about like the annoying thing that your significant other does, that your friends see it, but not necessarily you see it. And you hear that glass shattering effect when they point it out. Like one of the characters chews very loudly. And once it's pointed out, they're like, oh yeah. It's kind of that effect where, you know, if you're in love with somebody, you're going to like completely overlook their flaws until it's like pointed out to you with a mirror. And in this case, it's not just a regular mirror, it's a funhouse mirror. And now Harry's going, look, I want to be
his wife's bombing buildings, and he's going like,
and Harry's like, and Harry was like, wait, I know that I said, you know, whatever it takes, no matter the cost, but now that she's doing it and it's getting really dangerous, like, I don't know, maybe I'm more Team Peter than Team Harry, you know?
Well, it's okay when I do it, but it's not okay when a woman does it.
Oh man. But, well, no, I just think he's like, I just think he's rethinking it, and he's like, "Hey, I need Peter. I need that moral center of the Marvel universe. You know, that isn't Captain America.
I need my Picotech buddy."
Well, and it's now. I think there's also a part of Harry that realizes what Ireland said is that Peter's the greatest of us, and that if there isn't a
Peter's
Spider-Man,
the key.
You know.
Jesus Christ, Walter.
Harry is thinking, I don't want to divorce this chick because she knows where all the shortcomings are. You know, as a divorcee myself, that's probably true.
Jesus Christ.
And that got dark. Anyway, so
and time
I guess
to
we
light
can play
it back up.
All right, so let's oh god.
I do like how his dad's just mean to him. Like, there's not even a pretense of like wanting Harry to be like a real man. He's just bullying his son for no reason.
Norman, AI Norman is like dickish Norman turned up to a 12, and I'm kind of here for it. And also, like you said, I mean, you've
sure everything will be fine with that in the future.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I like, yeah. So I guess we should probably give grades. Ashley, what is your grade for this issue?
You already know. Don't even think about it. You already know. I don't have to say it. Yep.
A+++++++. All right.
All the love in this one. It's amazing.
Neil's grade.
A-.
A-. Adam, your grade, sir.
I'll give it an A.
A. And my grades shall be very similar in this A. Look, I think the artwork's excellent. Probably one of the more. I think Messina's finally done enough issues now that he's finally kind of got the groove down, and he's not having to do all the superheroic stuff.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, it's very much his stuff. Even before, I feel like it's the best of what he's done so far. Like all of his other issues, this might be the best one. It's like it's all the strengths of the previous ones and none of the weaknesses.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, very much again, I think he's now starting to. Okay, so we are doing number grades, but that's on ASM, not on Ultimates. We're keeping it a little bit different for Ultimate. But good catch there, Mr. Walter. Speaking of,
I would give it a 9 point something. I don't know what.
Yeah, I give it a 9. Like if we're doing number grades, I'd give it like a 9.
I would say 9.1, but I just say A+++ because of the Yowie. That's all.
I'd probably do like 9.2 maybe.
Yeah.
Neil?
That's fair too.
What would be your number grade?
9.16.
So
okay. All right. So I did star some chats. Gary in the Frozen says that Ashley needs to rock a Black Cat cosplay because she's got the right hair color for it. So funny you should say that because that's part of the reason that she has the hair color. You're gonna have to do the Black Cat cosplay one day. You know what? To celebrate the first issue, you should do the Black Cat cosplay if you would like.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
We just got a comment that implies otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Robert says he's a lifelong Incredible Hulk fan, especially Peter David's iconic longtime run. It's heartbreaking to hear that he passed away recently. R.I.P. Peter David. Yeah, absolutely. Peter David's run in terms of length, I mean, it was 14 years long. I know everybody kind of wishes it would have ended better, but half of what they're, doing on Hulk is a direct result of Peter David's run. So, a grumpy old guy says, Neil, your punishment has not been delivered yet, Zach. No, it's because I have a box and I just haven't got it up to him. So,
okay,
Gary's, so that will happen sooner rather than later because I got other stuff that I need to. Oh, there we go. Binkman raised his hand, says he'd like to see it. Do a poll on Discord. Oh dear. The thing I'm surprised that you guys aren't talking about related to Marvel is the whole we've already talked about that, man. Like that's that, and it's just you just haven't talked. You just missed the episode that it came out. We've talked about it. We just don't talk about it on Ultimate, partly because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of constantly comparing this book and ASM because, like, at the end of the day, it's apples and oranges. They're both fruit, but they are different things. And to try to compare them, at least right now, is unfair to both books. Like, and I feel like you're not the only one that's brought this up. Other people have brought this up over time. I think Tevye has done it too. But, like, there's
only so many times we can say, this thing was bad. Because we already said it. We have.
Like we've done. We've done this show now for almost 5 years in September. And in that time frame, I think we have pretty much when it comes to ASM, talked out the whole, hey, this would be better if Peter and Mary Jane are together. Hey, unless the stories are having consequences that have those characters interact, and frankly, with the all new Venom book, they're kind of just putting that off to the side, so to speak, for the next probably 6 months, and then they're going to cancel that and relaunch it with all new Venom #1, all new Venom #1.
Oh, God. Make it stop.
Venom Volume 8. We're at that point. Well,
it's like 10
unless
issues
you actually,
long.
yeah. So here's my thing. It becomes exhausting as a fan, and kind of going off of what we talked about last week with the Spectacular book, and talking with Greg and hearing the behind the scenes stuff with Nick Lowe. I just think that it's not fair to Jonathan Hickman and Messina and Checchetto to sit there and compare it to has nothing to do with the work that they're doing right now. And I think it's just a wasted amount of energy to do that. Like,
I do think so far in Kelly's run, the Spidey stuff is solid. Everything else is maybe questionable, but the Spidey stuff is not too bad.
The 7 out of 10 run.
Yeah, it is an improvement on, and I feel bad for Zeb Wells because he seems like a nice dude. But I think he was kind of,
how much did he donate? Like $3,500 to David's GoFundMe,
and he's done that. He's done that multiple times, by the way. Because this isn't this is the second GoFundMe. The first one did fund. This one was made when he got denied for Medicaid. So, like him, Rob Liefeld, there's been a bunch of comic creators that have put their own money where their mouth is. Zeb's been one of them, and I think that needs to be acknowledged. So
I do think that his run wasn't good, and I think that he bears some responsibility for that. But also, it's just like, damn.
Like, in my opinion, Wells was given a directive to do the things that he did,
and he didn't do them good.
Did he execute them well? No, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad person. It doesn't mean that he should be called out for his divorce and shit. Like, you're not going to bat 1,000. He did a good job in the X-Men office. He's done decent work on Spider-Man before. Like,
how do you think he's going to do on? Do we want to talk about the last piece of big news? After when was the last crossover? 1996.
I mean, we can. I mean, the only reason I didn't is because it didn't really have a Spider-Man connection. At least,
I mean, it's big Marvel. It's big Marvel news, and not like the Capcom Legends had Spider-Man in them.
I mean, that's true. Well, they had Venom.
Yeah, but that's.
But
how sweet would it be though if they made a Spidey fighting figure? That would be cool.
Can he do
I want him to do that.
Yeah, can you do the thing? Yeah,
honestly, do the thing.
Honestly, he should do the thing.
I'm gonna need to see that one more time. I missed that, Neil. I was busy vacuuming my driveway.
Hang on, Neil. One more time, there, buddy.
God damn. Okay, fine.
Right. It's so good.
I just wanted to make sure that you got the spotlight at that exact moment, Neil. So I was just trying to give your props. Now, I do think there will be a Marvel versus Capcom Spider-Man because they cannot resist doing that. I think that
another Spider-Man.
It would be cool because they could have him be orange and pale blue or something, more like the game, Because I remember the McFarlane figure, I think they put in that pose when they advertised that. Yeah. But like that, that's a little, I think they could do like another, mask for the Capcom one.
Well, and they wouldn't have to do like the web lines either, too. It would be a much simpler figure. So,
yeah.
Speaking of that Maximum Series Spider-Man, I think Hobby is working on a review for that. The Black Cat
did he
from
get
Spider-Man 2. Yes, he did.
Cool.
Black Cat from Spider-Man 2 and the
right, yeah, he did get that one. He showed us the damage there.
Yeah, the
not the damage to the figure, but to the packaging.
Anyways,
the
other big news you're forgetting, DC Marvel crossover after 20 plus years.
It's
probably been about 20 years.
It's 2003 was JL Avengers. So
okay, so 22 years now. That's a long time. Yeah. But they announced a new one, including our boy Zeb. We got Zebbed once again.
Zeb Wells
he's writing one half, and then Grant Morrison's writing the other. Man, imagine retiring from comics, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, we got a thing for you. It's Batman and Deadpool." You're like, shit. But yeah, so they're doing two one shots. One is written by they're both Deadpool Batman. One's written by Wells and with art by Greg Capullo for Marvel, and then Grant Morrison with Dan Mora for the art on the DC side.
So this is from the DC side.
That logo's shit. I'm gonna be honest.
I didn't see it. Let me see. Yeah, it's not that good, but
the Batman.
They should have put the eyes on there. That would have been like instant aura.
Yeah. So this is the press release from DC. Announced earlier today in an unprecedented collaboration between DC Comics and Marvel. Entertainment Weekly has revealed the two highly anticipated DC Marvel crossover books coming to your local comic shops in 2025 are Batman and Deadpool #1, published by DC Comics in November, and Deadpool and Batman #1, or excuse me, Batman Deadpool published by DC, Deadpool Batman published by Marvel Comics, which is something that they did in the 90s, in the past, when they would, it would always be the lead characters who's publishing it. So on the DC side, it will be a lead story written by legendary scribe Grant Morrison. Dan Moore is the artwork. The other will be Capullo, like he said, and Zeb Wells. So Zeb Wells, high profile, one shot.
Not in the best way right now, though.
Yeah.
Whoa! What if we got a Paul cameo? Hell yeah!
Oh no. Marvel crossover.
Scream 7. Jiminy Christmas.
What?
I saw Scream 7. Like, geez Louise.
Yeah. So, well, that's the comics, bro. That's not that was the first. So we knew this was coming because this was announced a while back, but this is
I think Alan Buckley even said like they had to plan it way in advance because DC does like a 3-year ahead of time overarching plan, and then Marvel kind of does it by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, well, Marvel does like 1-year plans, and so Jim Lee and Buckley both have quotes in the original EW article, so they call it PR fluff. So, like I say, I think there was more. Like there's some more rumored individuals that are going to be in the issues.
There's more stuff.
Kevin
on the
Smith
way,
is in there, like what's her name? Kelly Thompson's in there.
Zdarsky's in there. Kevin Smith, Kubert. Is it Kubert? Is it Kubert or Kubert?
Kubert.
Kubert's the Pac-Man
either.
character.
Bueller. So,
Ferris Bueller. Okay.
Yeah, that was a Bueller joke. I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, Kevin Smith joins Zdarsky and Kelly Thompson. That's going to be. Apparently, that's basically they got the cover to previews, which is going to be coming out, I guess, this next week. But again, this is the first. There's going to be several more coming out over the next year in 2026. So I think I've heard 5 more of these. So
yeah, what if they get? I'm a little upset that they didn't do Batman Spider-Man again, so we could get Dan Moore doing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But I think the next one should be Spider-Man Superman.
Yeah, I do think.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. He says, right now watching Andy Griffith, and it features Bill Bixby in an episode I want Zach to know. In my upcoming blog entry, Peter David's passing, I mentioned me and the Spideydude in the site. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. We got somebody from Twitch.
I don't know if that's a real person.
I don't know if it's a troller or not, so we'll see. But he asked if Sony owns Spider-Man, and that's not how that works. So Sony has the license to Spider-Man, but it's a limited license. It's not, it's a whole thing. Spectacular radio here on the Spideydude Radio Network. Anyway, so we got a couple of voicemails I was going to play before we get out of here. Kind of terrified. But if you want to leave a voicemail, 818-925-6631. Here is Walter. No, it's not.
Great stuff, guys. Zach, if there's a voicemail playing, we're not hearing it. Just letting you know.
Oh, I sorry. It was I I have to download the stupid thing.
He looks so
Hopefully
content.
No, it was because it's a really bad Christopher Walken impression that I have that I'm trying to grace you with, and now the damn thing, it doesn't want to work. So hang on, let me just refresh, because Walter making me do this on the fucking fly always makes me so happy. Walter, so happy. All right. So there we go. Here's Walter.
This is your good friend, Christopher Walken.
No, it's not.
Wanted to give you my recap of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay, we're not doing a whole. How long is this?
HARRY Osbourn,
It's another
who
minute.
looks very conflicted about talking to his daddy. I don't know why. I told him the story about how he hid that watch during the war, but I guess it didn't have very much of an impact on him.
What?
And Gwen being Mysterio because she's fat. Anyway, it looks like things are starting to come to a head between Jonah and Ben, which should make actually very happy because they're slow. Well, this has been your good friend, Christopher Walken. And hopefully, my recap has made everybody want him more.
No, it hasn't.
Because I'm quick.
All right.
I'm gonna start billing Walter every time he sends a voicemail that doesn't make any sense.
Just like
friend, I am calling in to explain what was going on in that factory.
Is this the second one?
Yes.
Okay.
Demon Bomb is beer from across the neutral zone, which is why Mr. Negative is distributing him
All right.
throughout New York. Me and Spock one time had a few too many demon bombs. The bad part is when a Vulcan gets drunk and gets the hiccups, he kind of sounds like Goofy. Hurry up. Hurry up.
What?
Hurry up. I heard that all night long.
Oh my god.
And it was really traumatic on our diplomatic mission to the Goofy planet. Because then everybody was yucking all night long.
She bounced on it so good she make it go yuck.
Oh my god. All right, and finally.
Get out of here, Neil.
Oh my god. Fucking sad trombone. Anyway, so the final voicemail of the night.
Jesus Christ.
Baby, Zach, don't cry. Don't
Turn it off. Okay, this is
no more. So don't you cry no more, little Zachy.
What?
Because the paint is off the walls. You asked for it. Sorry, Ashley. I forgot to laugh.
I think it's great that we have the Joker call in every show.
That was my impression of Joker with asthma.
At least he acknowledges it was Joker with asthma. So, thank you.
I wish I had a lighter so I could have held it out during that song.
Listen, I am happy people using the voicemail, but do I have to hear your impression? Like this is my reaction, which is just
they're gonna love this.
There's not enough booze. Hickman, I think you should start leaving voicemails just to offset this, yeah.
I'm listening to music.
Well,
Walter's gonna get us demonetized by that song.
The freaking lullaby. Yeah, that'd be my luck. So,
public domain, it's fine.
All right, everybody. Any final thoughts before we go to the Patreon outros?
No. End the show.
Aunt May's Mysterio confirmed.
Ashley, you got any final thoughts, my dear?
Oh no, there's nothing going on upstairs. It's too late at night. There's nothing up there.
All right. Well, on that note, we got to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/Spideydude Network. We've got our friends Allison, Cindy, Casey, Doug, Ed, Eric, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura Howard, Lup Moose, Master Dragon, Phoenician, RJ, Vic, Nessa, and Vicky. Thank you for your support. This will be the final time I think we say it, but Sarah, she just bought a car, so she had to cancel her membership. But don't be like Sarah if you don't have to. We got Sarah and Tara, spectacular patrons. VIPs are Hickman and Walter. You see our friendly neighborhood tier up on the screen. If you're listening to this on the audio edition, you've already heard their names mentioned at the beginning of each episode. What do you get when you're a Patreon subscriber? Well, you get Books of X, because me and Neil need to sit down and do some more episodes. Right, Neil?
And me.
Yeah.
Oh, and yep. Yeah. Ashley and Neil and me are going to sit there and do some more Books of X episodes. So, if you have not already checked out the spectacular Spideydude experience, we just wrapped up the final issues of the spectacular Spideydude experience, but we are now in our 5th season with our lovely Pepe LeRoy's artwork. So yeah, also check out Make My Mayday, show all about Spider-Girl and her world, if you have not already. And Voices from the Eyrie, Gargoyles Podcast, just dropped the latest episode. So if you want to hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Greg Weisman, not only can you listen to that show, but you can also listen to our episode of the Spideydude Experience, where we talk about the spectacular Spider-Man book. Sal Buscema Era Podcast is on its final run. The sprint to the finish is on. Now that we are through the Maximum Carnage era, there's only a few more episodes left. So if you have not already, go back and listen to that show from the beginning, covering the seminal run of Spectacular Spider-Man by Sal Buscema. Say that 5 times fast. If you have not already checked out our Vault series, the Clone Saga Chronicles Podcast, and the Spectacular Radio, why haven't you? You should definitely check those out, as well as Amazing Spider-Man Classics with Javi and his son Jack, as well as the backlog of episodes with the original gang. If you have not already, go follow us on the social medias. Find me on Twitter at Spideydude Radio. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and all the other social medias at Spideydude Network. If you have not already, and you're listening to us on the audio edition, you want to see all the visual aids and our live comments, you can find us over on YouTube, youtube.com/Spideydude Radio Network. And if you want to be like Walter, please, somebody else be like Walter, leave us a voicemail, 818-925-6631. If you want to leave us an email, you can also leave us an email at SpideyDudeRadioNetwork@gmail.com. So thank you guys for the support. As always, all the links are down in the description below. And definitely join our Discord page, where we have all sorts of fun there. So I want to thank Ashley and Adam and Neil for being on the episode, as always. The Ultimate Spideydude Experience is always a fun time, and definitely come back for our next episode here on the Spideydude Experience, which will be, I think, an Amazing Spider-Man episode, because now we don't have Spectacular Spider-Man anymore. Womp womp. All right, so thank you guys for listening. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, if you want to hear about the Transformers Intifada, you can always check out the Neil episodes here on the channel as well. Almost forgot about that, Neil. My bad. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching us live, and if you're listening to us after the fact, thank you as well. So we will see you next time here on the Spideydude Radio Network.